Because of the interview tonight, hooked on harmonics, the final five, and Kuma's quote of the week will not be presented this evening. Also, due to the large number of people that will be in the call during the interview, we will not be taking viewer call-ins after 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Hello! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another nerdy episode of Another Nerdy Talk Show, where we talk nerd. We'd like to thank you guys for joining tonight. We'll be interviewing later, hopefully at 9 o'clock, we'll be interviewing Jon Bailey at 9 p.m. tonight. The epic voice guy himself, voice of Honest Trailers. Hopefully, having a lot of mucus in the throat. He'll be here to answer your questions, doing requests, and so on and so on. With that said, let me just talk about tonight's news that we'll be covering real quick while we're waiting for the first hour of the show. First off, 1 year. 1 year of Animal Crossing this year. Can you believe it? It's been 1 year. Wait, what? There we go. 1 year. And they've released a new update. What did they give us? Oh, you'd be surprised. In other news there, Demon Slayer Mugen Train has a North American release date. We got both the release date of the subbed and dubbed version, all here tonight. Next up, we got news for the Justice League Snyder Cut that has finally been released on HBO Max. I feel grace that we can finally delete this image of the poster. But what do the fans think of it? Find out. In other news, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier has also finally been released on Disney+. I feel grace that I might be able to use this image more than once. What do the fans think of it? I almost feel stupid asking that. All that and more tonight on Another Nerdy Talk Show. Stay tuned.
You're watching Another Nerdy Talk Show. If there is a problem, I'll solve it. Oh wait, that's right, I'm a voice.
And now, some imperative advice to get you through the week. Hopefully.
Welcome to Imperative Advice. The advice for this week: since light travels faster than sound, some people appear bright until they speak. To steal ideas from one person is plagiarism. To steal from many is research. In filling out an application where it says, in case of emergency, notify, put down doctor. This has been Imperative Advice. Enjoy the show.
This has been your imperative advice to get you through the week.
Warning, please use this imperative advice at your own risk. Shaded Sight Studios is not responsible if this imperative advice gets you sent to the hospital, arrested, bullied, thrown off a train, mauled by monkeys, or anything else that is too gruesome to think of. Side effects of following this imperative advice may include rashes, burning, overabundance of laughter, random need to toe tap, everlasting pain, death, being barred from your favorite clubs, and possible chance of turning into a lemming. Do not follow this imperative advice if you are prone to breathing, moving, making noises, or pretty much anything that makes you a regular human being. Bottom line, what we are essentially saying is, don't be a moron!
You're watching Another Nerdy Talk Show. Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. How did our eyes get so red? Wait, that's just Kuma.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the usual feed here. How are we guys doing tonight? I'm here joined with the Concert Cruiser, Miss Bright Idea, and Kuma the Sleepy. As said, later tonight we'll be interviewing Jon Bailey, the voice of Epic Trailers, also known as the Epic Voice Guy. I'm all over the place tonight. I apologize. I'm up, down, all around, left, right, up. Did I say? I rest my case. I rest my case.
He had espresso with Red Bull. What you think was going to happen?
I don't drink Red Bull.
Dang.
I actually do not drink energy drinks, believe it or not.
I was gonna say, so he just had a Cuban coffee.
But going back to some of Bright's advice, I was actually listening to, I was watching some old Adam Savage videos who was one of the hosts of Mythbusters,
Right.
and he actually had this thought of the only difference between screwing around and science is you write it down.
Yeah. I believe that. That is funny.
Matter of fact, I even used to have I I used to have this saying about Mythbusters. It's not that far off from Jackass.
Yeah. Jackass, but with things down.
Let's see. Mythbusters was science. Jackass was just your group of friends saying, "Pixar didn't happen."
No,
Yeah.
no. Mythbusters was Jackass, and Jackass was basically anatomy in general.
Yeah. Jackass says,
Oh, man.
kids, don't try this at home. Try
What?
this at your friend's home.
What does that mean? What does that mean for America's Funniest Home Videos, or as I like to call it, America's fucking stupid?
Yeah.
Pardon my language.
I even remember
Do it yourself, Jackass.
and I remember Jackass. They always say, don't try this at home. But when there was actually a Jackass video game for the PlayStation 2.
Oh, wow.
Basically it was kind of like a party game that you can make your own Jackass episode out of. And Johnny Knoxville said, "It's the one time, kids, you can try it at home." But other than that,
Yeah. Dude, I feel so sorry for his testicles. Because, like, seriously, on how much damage and pain he's gone through.
Is he a father?
I don't know.
I want to know if if one of the children survived. There's this guy in Philadelphia.
They're making a fourth movie.
Like, there's this guy in Philadelphia. His name is Horse, and he used to make videos of him getting kicked in the nuts. He was on Web Soup one day on G4, and Horse, of course, had to do an interview with them. And I remember he lives in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I don't know if he still does nut shot videos. All he did was just make videos of him getting kicked in the nuts. He has a video of his own father kicking him in the nuts. It's like funny.
Yikes.
And he has a daughter. And like one of the G4 for I'm sorry, I don't remember what her name was, but it was on Web Soup. And it opens up with an opening to Harrisburg, which I will never forget the lyrics to, which is Harrisburg. It's a city in Pennsylvania. I think it's the capital, Harrisburg. And it just cuts off there, and every single image they cut of Harrisburg is like boarded up windows, like an upside down stop sign. It's just so fucking funny.
Oh,
Wow.
And like, so anyway, like she interviews him, and he has a kid. He has a little girl who's just sitting there playing with legs. Like, how's it feel to know that someone actually survived?
Oh.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and when Steve-O was actually on his pathway of getting sober, in the 12-step program, there's actually a step where you actually have to apologize to everyone you've harmed. Now, some people will take that literal, and the first thing that actually came to his mind was how many times he went around kicking people in the nuts.
Oh my god.
And so he actually called Johnny Knoxville over and said, "Dude, you have to kick me in the nuts." And it's like, "Excuse me?" It's like, to make up for all the times I kicked everyone else in the balls. And it's like, all right. And what does Steve-O do? He strips naked and says, "My name's Steve-O, and I'm an alcoholic drug addict." Covers his face. Go for it. And then Knoxville, right in there. And Knoxville's like, "Oh, that felt yucky." But Steve-O, like, he's surprisingly still doing his stunts. And this one I'll give him credit for. I actually thought this was kind of ingenious. On Instagram, you're not allowed to post bare breasts. However, if they're painted, that's fine. Which you've seen people do at concerts all the time.
Like body paint.
Yeah. So what he did is that he actually had like his short area painted black with his dick hanging out.
Wow.
And so he would ride his bicycle in like a bike shirt, helmet, pads, and everything.
Yeah.
And he would purposely fall. Yeah, he would purposely fall in front of people so that when his legs are spread open and there's young.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, so let's just move on to the the topic thing there, please.
So one last thing here, because he sent a picture of it to Johnny Knoxville, and Johnny Knoxville goes, "That's the smallest black dick I've ever seen."
Yeah.
Anyway. Yes, I was doing that for about 5 minutes. Anyway, let's just move on to the news today. First of all, it's been a year since Animal Crossing New Horizons was released, and in honor of its anniversary, the update they gave us, I know we usually report on the updates, but what we got this time was incredible. A video has yet to be released, but their Twitter, their Twitter, they released a lot of photos and a lot of things that are coming on. First off, as we know, we got the Sanrio update where they're going to be bringing in items. I got some photos here from the exact Twitter feed. The update was recently available a couple days ago, 3 in fact. And as you can see here, we got the cardboard cutouts, which are going to be good. It's worth mentioning Cruiser Internet have not played this game. Me and Kuma have. Mm-hmm. And some of the stuff they're bringing in from New Leaf, which is going to be the cardboard cutouts. You know, you ever go to one of those amusement park cruisers where, like, you know, you could sit behind the cardboard cutout of, say, like, Spider-Man, and you could put your head in the hole, and that's what they're going to be putting in there customization wise.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm going to take
one of Isabel.
Yeah, so which is why I'm going to take a picture of Cruiser and then put it on my island. You want to be the concert cruiser for a day? There you go. Oh, you don't need to shield out of the way, Cruiser. I have plenty of photos.
Well, this is payback for what I just said. Just a few minutes ago.
Yes. Anyway, we also got the update there. There's going to be
This is all just lead up.
Anyway,
this is all just lead up for Evan just to make all of us and then all of us a cutout just so he could film it all for himself.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I've always wanted to be Bright Idea.
He just introduces himself saying, "Hey everyone, welcome to ANS." Then goes to everyone being like, "I'm Cruiser."
Anyway, going to the chat here, Draken. Yes, it has been crazy. Anyway, yes. So we got custom designs. Portal has been expanded to hold up to 50 different custom designs. So now I have plenty of space in my Nook phone to make these cardboard cutouts. They're also going to be doing umbrellas. They're going to be doing flags. They're going to be doing fans. It's going to be amazing. Mm-hmm. And other stuff we got here. We are bringing back the infamous Bunny Day. If you don't remember the controversial Bunny Day incident in Animal Crossing, Nintendo released an Easter event last year where it involved you looking for eggs, except they went overboard. For 3 weeks, we kept getting eggs in trees, looking for fish. What was it? It was an egg. Thought we found money. Haha, egg. Thought we found money in a rock. Ha, egg. They released an update patch trying to push back the eggs, or whatever pun I could think of. Bright fill me in.
I love the memes from that.
Yeah. You trying to come up with a yoke?
Thank you. Anyway, yeah, but they are going to be doing some new stuff here. The Bunny Day event is going to be limited to 1 day, no doubt. Like, I'm going to give them slack based on all the holiday events they've had so far this year. They're going to be scaling back. They've learned from the mistakes. It's all good, no problem. So yes, that's going to be back, and they're also going to be having Bunny Day themed items too. As you can see, this villager has a pair of bunny ears. Other stuff going on here is, oh yeah, that's one of the items right here. Here, you got a little flag you can put out there instead of having to craft everything your own. I like the expression on this villager. She looks like she just woke up to do this photo shoot.
Wait, go back to the one that's holding the egg out.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Just so it can be on stream.
It's the same one.
You really gotta love
Zipper in the background.
Yeah, Zipper in the background, just looking like, all right.
But first, she's gotta look at the villager's ass. Anyway, so yes, we got another thing coming up here. Nook phones are actually going to be doing some new things there, and they're actually going to be connecting to the Nintendo app. You're going to be able to earn Nook points on there to get different items for your village and everything else there. It's going to be amazing. Not to mention, can I also point out the little cameo at the bottom there that says "Enjoy your words of wisdom" from the great Katrina herself? We got Katrina back, the fortune teller from the game. I am really happy to see her back. I hope she doesn't.
Does she actually tell your fortune?
Well, here's what happens. Like, yeah, she can. She basically, it looks like, from what I'm guessing, they're going to be having a fortune thing in the game, where in the Nook phone thing, where you're like saying it's like a horoscope kind of thing. But in the game, she was a fortune teller, right? And sometimes she would predict bad luck for you. And if that was the case, your villager would have low luck, like he'd be falling all over the place. It'd be funny. Anyway, other stuff coming on to the Nook phone, you're actually going to be able to get some items that are not in the game, such as this Nook poster that's going to be worth 10. I like to call them pogs. 10 pogs. Mm-hmm. I know they're coins, but pogs, it's funner.
Yeah.
God, and I'm not going to lie, that thing actually looks pretty good. I would totally want that on my wall. And followed by that, comes my favorite update, and that's going to be. Oh wait, yeah, here it is. The island with the wisdom thing. She actually gives you words of wisdom. Like in this case, sometimes what is yours may be better served at someone else's.
Okay.
Remember, my advice has been taken and ignored, but never refuted. And yes, this one here brings in my favorite feature, the Island Tour Creator, where you can make a video showing off your island to advertise so people can come and visit it. You can get like different videos of the different angles of your island. You can basically like advertise your island for people to visit. I love this feature very much, and I don't know how it's going to be utilized, but I like that form of advertising. And one of the recent updates they did here, aside from the creator spots, they have the cake. They have a cake modeled for the 1-year anniversary. It's already available out. If you haven't gotten it, you should have it in your mailbox, mailed by Nintendo. It's a big time here. And who knows? There's actually rumors of other things coming down here, including one of the rumor. I don't know if this is confirmed, but potted plants were also confirmed. So you can finally plant potted plants in your thing. And since they did Mario items, let's face it, Zelda items need to come. They've been in the other games. I want to see them in that game. I want a Master Sword in my basement, and I want that to be the only thing. Here's what I want. One, okay? You go in my basement, right? There's just There's just nothing in there. It's just our stream, and you see just the Master Sword under a light.
Wow.
Tell me that doesn't sound epic.
Does it actually make the noise when you open the chest?
Yeah, when you touch it, it goes like. Da-da-da-da. You can, in the older games, you can get like the Triforce, and when you touch it, it does like the whole opening to Link to the Past, like it falls apart and breaks apart.
I actually need to really work on my island. I haven't gotten the full amount of characters that you can get on your island. I still have just 6.
Oh, save it for the Sanrios. Get a pack of Sanrio cards. Get the Hello Kitty one. Put it on your island.
I know. I just need to get to the point on where I could get characters though, because I don't think I've invited you to my island. When you come to my island, I would like. After this and everything, I'll send you, like, you can come to my island. I'll show you everything.
I would be delighted.
My island is literally... I live next to the beach, so, like, I decorated my beach a little bit, and my character is like a beach bum.
You would totally make the perfect beach bum, Kuma. I don't know why, but you totally would.
See, I tried something that was... it's not really a game, but I guess you could call it an application that was similar to this. It was for the PlayStation 3. Basically, there was this online hub where all players kind of got together, and they could, do like regular things. Like you can actually play like old retro video games together. You can actually bowl together. You can explore various video games together, like mock-ups with your avatar. And it was cool at first. I definitely enjoyed it, but it just couldn't hold me.
Wii Sports Online coming to the Switch next year. It basically was what everything you described was basically that. I get what you're saying, though. Don't get me wrong.
If there's, if anything, I actually need to finish the video game that I started months ago, but I fell off of it. It was the game Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, which I know I mentioned on the show before, but it was moving. It's one of those games where you have to pay attention. This isn't a game where you can just kind of play and have your favorite podcast going. You actually need to pay attention to the story. So I actually might have to start this whole thing over again.
That's the game where they talk about where it kind of goes into some sort of idea onto what people with schizophrenia have.
Yeah, basically the character does have a mental disorder. She is hearing voices. But the catch is, you don't know if those voices are talking to her or you.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it very intriguing. And supposedly, if you actually get a game over enough times, you see like this black mole kind of going up her arm. If it actually reaches the top, you actually get a game over, and your entire game gets deleted. You have to start from the very beginning.
Yikes.
Oh, wow.
But supposedly, that doesn't actually happen. Someone in the comments section of a YouTube video for it said, "Nah, that's just meant to create tension."
And it worked.
So yeah, so I need to finish that game. because it looks like they did put a lot into it.
Anyway, up here in other news here, we got the release of the upcoming Demon Slayer movie, Mugen Train. I have earlier today I posted a picture of the poster here, right there. Now, I'm not really too fluent in this anime here, but I know a lot of people are, so I thought we'd just cover it real quick. A North American release is on the way. We have a theater release in April 23rd. Tickets will be going on sale at select theaters on April 5th, and there will be a digital release on June 22nd. Pre-orders start on various video sharing platforms on April 26th. I don't know, Kuma, have you ever seen that anime? Demon Slayer?
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Dude, it's... the art style on it is pretty amazing. No,
yeah.
I haven't seen I haven't seen the train, and I haven't fully finished any seasons. I like to drop in and watch clips and all like that. So it's that's why I don't really care for spoilers and things, because I've seen a clip of it or something like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like the poster does look really good. Funimation.com reported the plot. Yes, Draco said he's seen a couple of episodes for this. I've been enjoying it.
Nice.
So Funimation did give us a thing of the plot, which says, after the events of the television anime series Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, the movie Mugen Train has Tanjiro Nezuko, Zenitsu, and Inosuke embark on a new mission together with one of the most powerful swordsmen of the Demon Slayer Corps, excuse me. Flame Hashira Kojiro Rengoku. They investigate the mysterious disappearance of over 40 people aboard the Mugen Train. So basically, they're going on the train from Hey Arnold. That was a freaky episode, may I add.
Yeah,
that's
yeah, but I never thought the polka was scary, though. Wait, that just came out of...
I guess no one appreciates the polka.
Somewhere out there, Weird Al is someone's battle cry.
They say when you're in the graveyard, you can still hear Weird Al's ghost playing the B accordion. That would be my request to Weird Al. If he died, I want him to have an urban legend about himself just made out of complete and utter BS.
When you're using Weird Al as a battle cry, I'm just thinking Leroy Jenkins, but Weird Al!
Weird Al Yankins?
Yeah, something.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. Anyway, so...
Yankins sounds like a weird old man.
It does.
Old man Yankins?
Yeah.
Oh, my
or
God.
Perverted old man that's not Herbert from Family Guy.
I can't do that voice. I had a friend of mine who could actually do that voice very well.
Which voice?
Herbert from a Family Guy. You're frozen.
Oh, boy.
And that you're frozen.
I keep freezing.
I've got to remember to get a sound bite for every single time you freeze. I should probably get that last shot of Christopher Lloyd's quote. So I just put down the quote, today, every single time you freeze.
Frozen today.
Anyway.
More of this, and I'll have to sing Let It Go.
You're just a 2-dot screen now.
Yeah, 2-dot?
We can't see your screen is loading.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's good on my end.
I don't know why I did that. I just had to clear out my tongue. Anyway, let's move on here. The Snyder Cut. It's officially out. The entire 4-hour film is out on HBO Max.
Mm-hmm.
I unfortunately
got time for that.
I unfortunately wasn't able to see the film due to me not having HBO Max, and I also have a lot on my list to do, but from what I'm seeing, surprisingly fans are enjoying the product more than the original movie.
I forgot to see it.
Yeah.
Kuma, you had one job. I can't really I won't go into too many of the difference there, but while all the problems have not been fixed, excuse me. While all the problems have not been fixed, the new scenes and changes make it a decent product from what I'm seeing. I mean, I was actually looking at Angry Joe's video, and the moment he started it up here, it was just an instant 10 out of 10.
I did see the cut that was released in theaters, and it's entertaining enough, but I'm really not the best judge for it because, like I said, I'm not the world's biggest fan of superhero movies, so I'm not the best person to critique something like this.
Right.
As far as it being 4 hours long, I mean, granted, yeah, it is on HBO Max. You can pause it, you can take a break, but I think at the very least you could release it in volumes like they did the last Harry Potter movie, and probably what they should have done for It Chapter 2.
Right, I still can't see you. Anyway, but yeah, that's my thing here. Just to let you know, just like it's gonna be. There you go. It's interesting because like here's the thing I want to point out with the Snyder Cut. Okay, you can actually learn a lot from this. You can actually learn a lot of something here. The Snyder Cut has been requested by fans for a long time, and they finally got it. So when you look back at stuff like this, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, it's amazing what the fans can create, like persuade Hollywood to go towards in order to make a good product. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It is an interesting development of like the consumer now has more power than ever over the media that they consume.
At the very, I remember our friend Brony Buck did a Brony debates episode about whether or not fans should have a say in some kind of feature. And I think at the very least they deserve to at least be heard.
Right.
I mean, because they don't know the full-on artistic process that the writer and the director are going through. However, I think you should at least hear them out. Do they have a legit complaint here that you're not seeing?
Right.
At least someone that represents.
They should have a contributing voice rather than a controlling one.
Yeah, someone that represents whatever fandom and everything it is.
Yeah, I mean, like, sure, like Sonic the Hedgehog was still not like it wasn't necessarily, how should I say this? It was good for what it was. It was just a road trip buddy comedy movie, but it was still good. And the fact that they got Sonic in his, in a better form.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I want to add on to that. It's just that the thing I couldn't get over with the Sonic thing though, is that people working on that before the Switch. You're telling me there was no one right there that was working on that who never played the game or anything that was right there animating, working on it already? They didn't go. Everyone knows this is not what Sonic looks like, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
are we just going with this?
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I think the reason being is because if you saw in the movie, in the beginning clip, he actually is in Green Hill Zone. We see the landscape. I think it was just easier to make, or at least cheaper, to make a road trip buddy comedy movie. But like I said, it was still good for what it was. But we would still like to see footage of, or at least more footage of them back in.
My thing wasn't like on how the plot of the show and the movie was and everything.
Gotcha.
It's just how his
design.
look, his look.
The character design.
Gotcha.
Like really, the whole time when someone was animating him and all like that, like designing him,
The
no
creepy
one
human
from
looking
there,
version.
yeah, no one from that team played any of the games or anything, or really they were just right there, just like. So
Or like watch any
did
of the
you play the game?
cartoons.
Did you play the games when you were little? Yeah, I love the games. That's why I'm working on here.
Draconicus Media reports there was an awful trend of companies painting fans as entitled and ungrateful, while in reality companies were giving us, the fans, what we wanted and were just making excuses. And things escalated when the media jumped on attacking fans.
Yeah. Yeah, still, my point is just like anybody working before the Switch in the Sonic movie, I felt like that was just like the thing.
Part of me, and I will say, this is my tinfoil hat moment here. Part of me actually does wonder if they planned this. Did they plan for Sonic to look that bad just so that fans will make a huge outrage? They'll get noticed, and turns out they had this ready to go all along.
You'd be surprised. I mean, there's been a lot of movies that used like really weird things, really dark things to do that, like in the Twilight Zone movie.
Was it like 2 or 3 months till like they said, okay, yeah, we fixed it, or something like that?
It took a year.
I do know the movie was pushed back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, you can see it on HBO. The Snyder Cut you can see on HBO Max today. Go check it out if you have 4 hours to spare.
Yep.
I'm probably not gonna go there.
I'll go ahead and I promise I'll watch it around this week and I'll talk about it later.
If you want, I don't.
Yeah, next.
But I'll tell you what I did watch this
I'll just
weekend.
go.
I'll tell you what I did watch this weekend, and that was The Falcon and Winter Soldier. Holy crap! This new show. First of all, since WandaVision just ended, it's really cool that they went into another one directly after it just ended. You know what I'm saying? Just they gave us something like really fast. I should probably open up here.
Way in advance.
Yep. So they gave us a trailer in the on Monday. It was the last trailer to be released for it, which you can see here. And I want to just give more thoughts about what we think about it. But before we do, I should probably put this down real quick for you.
Hush, hush, hush. Here comes the bogeyman.
Okay, chop, 5 minutes, let's go. Essentially, it takes place after the Avengers Endgame. Right, you're frozen. And, the Falcon has the shield. And wait a minute, Cruiser, did you see Endgame?
Don't know, but I probably wouldn't care because, again, I'm not a big.
So after what happened to Captain America, not being Captain America anymore, he decides not to take the shield and donates it to a museum, where they have a whole Captain America exhibit coming, like being made and released. More exhibits, more stuff on him, Bucky Barnes. But yeah, the Falcon is still out there doing work for S.H.I.E.L.D. And the military, I believe. I don't know if it is S.H.I.E.L.D. he's doing stuff for or just the military. It's kind of hard to say.
It kind of looked like it was mostly just military.
He was in the Air Force. And yeah, it has this really suspenseful opening action sequence where he's chasing down these terrorists before they get into the Syrian border via helicopter, and he's trying to save this one soldier. It's like crazy. Wow. Like he's flying all over the place. Oh wait, Bright, yeah, did you see it yet?
I haven't seen it, but it sounds awesome.
Yeah, you're going to be getting some spoilers. I apologize.
Yeah, it's okay.
Anyway,
like...
in terms of Bucky,
hold on, that whole thing right there, the that whole helicopter moment,
yeah,
and everything. Did you see the A-Team?
What?
The A-Team.
The original or the
movie? I forgot what year it came out, but the remake, I guess, is what it was.
Yeah, like it came out like 2017 or 18.
I don't remember.
There's like some sort of thing, or it could be some other movie where like there was a whole scene where like they had to get a guy before he crossed into a certain border. I don't
know, unfortunately. So yes, the Falcon's still doing stuff as the Falcon. He's not taking in the shield anymore, but he's still kind of feeling a little bit of regret, I believe. He goes back to his family and tries to help his sister, was it?
Yeah.
His sister get a loan to kind of like keep their family business, Bright Frozen. So yeah, he's trying to help him get a loan. That doesn't work out well. But as for the Winter Soldier, well, what isn't going on with the Winter Soldier? He's basically trying to live his life, but he's also trying to like, he has a therapist and he's trying to like, what's the word I'm looking for? Repent for what he did. Repent, reconcile. So he's basically taking down old Hydra. He's trying to take down old Hydra spies and getting them in, like, busted. Like, he has a pretty cool scene where he captures this one ex-Hydra female agent. It's pretty cool. And all while he actually has a friendship with this guy, this Japanese guy, who was, I believe, I don't remember him in the movie, but apparently he's an old guy that fought in World War II. I can only assume. And he has a son that died, I'm sorry, Bright, but this is a big one, that he killed on a mission as the Winter Soldier, and he doesn't know.
Oh, dang.
Yep.
Yeah, because he like his son like basically just collateral damage in a sense. It like I'm saying that nicely. It basically he was just someone who was there as he was doing his mission.
Yeah, Yeah.
He was just
I
a
mean,
bystander.
like, it is a spoiler, but I think I might still
Yeah.
enjoy it because, like, I don't know, like, what the sun looks like or, like, what the happens or, like,
It's
Yeah,
clearly
how
Japanese.
it's just
he'll
it,
pick
yeah,
up.
it's a whole thing of like when it's
Yeah.
revealed and it's just going like, oh
Yeah.
shit.
Get to see
It's
Sebastian.
the journey, not the destination.
Get to see Sebastian
That's
Shaw
right.
support that cool ass long hair, man. I don't like short hair Sebastian, man. I'm sorry. So but yes, I'm not going to tell you what happens in the end, but it's looking to be really good so far. I can't wait to see where it goes.
Oh man, the ending of this episode, after the beginning of it, I was just going, that was fast. Okay.
It's only 50 minutes long, and it went by like you know. But I will say one thing.
I don't know how long the days were in between from the beginning of that dude.
Yeah, I will say one thing. Because of this now, I can no longer play Battleship anymore without making it into a drinking game. And now, Bright, I got a new website project for us. I want to make an entire website dedicated to conspiracy theories about what happened to Steve Rogers.
Oh man.
Wait, you said this movie was only 50 minutes?
It's a show. The episode's 50 minutes long.
Winter Soldier and
Falcon.
Falcon and Winter
Fleekin' and Snowman.
It does the reason why I asked is because it does make me kind of wonder, do you think we should actually kind of start scaling back the time length of some of this stuff? Or the running time? Like,
No, it works.
Yeah, it works.
I mean, as a show, there's plenty of shows that like are about an hour long with commercials. I mean, streaming services, you have an hour.
WandaVision, the first episode of those were just 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do you think it's time to start going back to like maybe 30-minute shows?
I really don't know.
Because Cobra Kai did that, and I was able to binge watch like all the seasons in just one day.
Yeah, it depends on what they want to do. I mean, like if they can do what they want. I mean, Disney and ABC have done a lot of like hour-long shows, like Once Upon a Time, Pretty Little Liars.
Yeah, and depends on whatever whatever product or whatever series you're going on as well too.
It really depends on the type of show that it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know a bunch of dramas and a bunch of like serious shows that like are fit for like an hour-long format. And then, like, if you want, like, quick and, like, fast-paced or adventure or something, like, half hour is great.
Yeah. Anyway, you can see the first episode. You can actually see the first episode on Disney Plus right now if you like, but I wouldn't because we still got to interview Jon Bailey. And with that said, Cruiser, you had a little bit of experience this weekend talking about the new Rob Zombie film.
I know it's been some time. It's old news now, but I finally got a chance to see it. It's 3 from Hell. It's
wait. I'm sorry. Is there gonna be? Do you want to explain the plot to it because I can play it again?
The spoilers.
The spoilers?
Yeah. Do you want us to talk about the plot because I got to play spoiler?
Yeah.
Hush, hush, hush. Here comes the boogeyman.
Done.
You're good.
Okay.
5 minutes.
Yeah, I saw 3 from Hell is the sequel to The Devil's Rejects, which started with Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses, his debut film. And House of a Thousand Corpses has actually started to gain an actual audience now. Now that the hype around it, I can see what it is. Devil's Rejects definitely catapulted it. And for the longest time, Devil's Rejects was supposed to be just the end of these characters. Matter of fact, the cast would even joke about it at con saying, hey, is there going to be a sequel to The Devil's Rejects? No. Why? Because we're fucking dead. But that was the joke between Sid Haig, Captain Spaulding, and Bill Moseley, Otis Driftwood. But apparently, Rob made it so that after these shootouts, they're all taken to the ER, and they are essentially saved so that they can face trial. Now, sadly, this was Sid Haig's last movie. He did pass away, and they even killed off his character in the very beginning, saying that he was already on death row and he died there. Yeah, I mean, he's in the film for like that long. However, there is a third member. They did add a third member that nowhere, and he's the half brother of Otis. So it is still 3 people. But
You know what's interesting? I'm just gonna jump in here and it's like Captain Spaulding and Driftwood. Those are two Groucho Marx characters.
I know, right? I was about to say, hooray for Captain Spaulding! Hooray, hooray, hooray!
Wasn't sure if you knew about that.
They may have mentioned it in Devil's Rejects at some point, but I don't know if it was if they mentioned Groucho Marx. But one thing though is, well, it seemed like it was a good idea to kind of see these characters again. My biggest issue was that they didn't really do anything with these guys. It was still just, travel to one place, kill and or torture, and go into the next place. And not only that, but Rob even repeats some of the same tricks from his previous movies, like the split screen edits, the old timey music, the winding road at the end of Devil's Rejects. And if you saw in the Devil's Rejects, there was this hotel scene that really kind of amplified things. They actually recreated that scene. Like, he didn't really do anything new with these characters. The girl, baby, she's batshit crazy for like no real reason. And the other thing too is that there are all these people
I would assume dying would cause someone to go insane. I don't know. I've never died before.
No. Really? I couldn't tell.
Oh, and on top of that, going to hell, you know, that could play on someone's mind.
Really? Give me your address. I can help you with that.
But the other thing too,
I already live in
after the interview, of course.
But the other thing too is that there's all these people who are after these guys, and they're giving all these long-winded, dramatic speeches about you're gonna pay, you're gonna go to hell. Can you just pull the trigger already? Like, seriously, stop trying to soak this in and just kill them, because at this point it was getting so repetitive. So, like, I'm afraid it's a 2 out of 5 star movie.
If I remember correctly from the Devil's Rejects, wasn't it like over 10 cop cars that just filled them full of lead?
Yeah.
On the highway. Why the hell after that where they go, all right, get them to the ER?
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. Like, if Rob really wanted to make a third movie, I think he should have made a prequel to House of Thousand Corpses. Heck, maybe even just make it into a Netflix series showing how each one of these characters came to be, how they found each other, how they became this family. I think that would have been more effective.
Oh, you know, it could have worked with that. For this one, it could have been instead of them coming back to life or whatever like that, they could have just possessed new people.
Yeah, possession works.
Yeah, and I just lost what I was about to say.
I know.
No, as you said, they did pump them full of lead. Like, just let them die.
Yeah.
And not to mention, there's Otis going, I am the devil. I'm here to do the devil's work. Like, why can't we just shoot this guy then? Like, why are you? Like I said, why are you trying to play up for dramatic effect? And just I was watching the special features in their making of documentary, and to be fair, Rob actually does have a good attention to detail when it comes to the actual look and picture. It's telling a story he seems to fall on. Because Rob doesn't all the details, as much as people were getting all in for this movie, they didn't really think the story through.
Right, it's like somebody not seeing the forest for the trees.
Pretty much. Because I do think Rob has potential to at least make an entertaining movie, not necessarily a deep one. But I think I hate to say this, but go to film school.
Well, to his credit, he was mostly just into horror in the beginning. So
yeah, as a matter of fact, when he first did House of Thousand Corpses, that's all he had. He just had a title. He didn't have a story or characters or anything. But apparently in Hollywood, you always have an idea, just in case if someone goes, so what ideas you got? And he just came up with House of Thousand Corpses. They made the movie. They showed it to the test audience, and the studio calls them up and goes, "We need to talk." And they said, "We cannot air this thing."
Yeah. No surprise.
Yeah, I mean, supposedly he's already going to be making another movie already. I don't know what, but I know his previous movie, 3 from Hell, 31.
4 from Hell.
Sure, whatever.
Yeah.
But he actually made his previous movie, 31. That was completely crowdfunded. So with all that money, he was able to make his own movie without any studio interference. But
That is cool.
It is, but it's still flopped. It was basically The Running Man with Rob Zombie.
Mm.
Yeah. You think that sounds cool, but it didn't work. It's just kind of one of the things that make you go, Rob, maybe you should just learn to tell a story first. You got a good eye, but now you gotta learn how to tell a story here.
Good eye, mate.
Oh, god damn it, bro.
I'm sorry, that was low-hanging fruit.
All puns are low-hanging fruit.
Okay, out of the 4 of us,
Yeah.
if you were to direct your movie, what genre would it be, and what role would each of us be in?
That would be an interesting idea. A good question, definitely.
Okay, I gotta head into the green room, guys.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right, yeah, go ahead.
The answer is snuff. Dead.
Oh wait, but who are we before we die?
Yeah.
You are.
Do we just show up
Cruiser
in the scene dead?
would Cruiser would be Cruiser would be what does it say?
You lose your train of thought?
No, I got this. I got this. He would be he'd be.
Come on. You got it.
Well, the only thing I can think of right now is cheerleader, but that's just me.
Oh boy.
So,
Did you see it with like a cheerleader costume?
So we're in a high school or we're in college or something?
Yes, we are college students. Our football team is called the Gourds, and the gourd is it's a giant. It's a gourd. What do you expect? Not the gourd. I mean the gourd from like I don't know. Freddy Got Fingered or whatever. But like that's the character's name. His name is Gourd.
Oh god, that's the main character.
Yeah, his name is Gourd. Who names their kid Gourd?
I have no idea.
Oh my gourd.
All right, so where was I? We all go to college. Cruiser's a cheerleader. He's that one male cheerleader that's on every cheerleader squad. You ever seen that? Like you go to Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. Not to say that there's not a lot of male cheerleaders, but like
I was gonna say, is he like the enthusiastical cheerleader, or is he just the cheerleader?
He's that cheerleader that you used to see in those AMCs. It's coming from the audience shticks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking? You ever seen that one?
Nice.
Anyway, one of the things that's interesting is that it's just he's like that. Bright Idea is Bright Idea is the teacher of home economics.
Ah, okay.
I play the school.
The
The building itself is played by me, and Kuma is
Are you like a formless narrator or something?
No, I'm just the school. I'm not the narrator. I'm the god.
I was just about to say no. He's the principal. We just never.
Every once in a while, you hear my voice coming from the speakers that says "Go Guards!" and Kuma will be he's a Mac computer. So Cruiser's the cheerleader. Bright's the Bright was what did I make you again?
The home economics.
The home economics teacher. Kuma plays your laptop, and I'm just the facility.
Aha.
Wow.
That's hilarious.
And the journey is we're trying to investigate a haunted 7-Eleven.
Ah.
There is a rumor that the Slurpee machine is alive.
Oh.
And Stephen King's writing a book about it right now.
my god! And their team will be. It'll take place in Maine.
Let's see.
Yeah,
Let's see. For my idea, it would be a comedy. I like the school idea, but we wouldn't be students. We would all be teachers.
What would I teach?
Either something in video or something in music.
You'd be in the AV club.
You chose me over music instead of the concert.
No, yeah, that's why it would be funny, because like for him, he would be in something.
He would be the film teacher.
Yeah, he would be the film teacher. That's why for like the thing with you two, like as a B story, or like a thing with you two just cover each other's rooms when you're just like, I don't know what the hell that we're studying today. You want to take this class? Yeah, sure. You could do whatever on mine.
Oh yeah, definitely,
What would I
definitely.
I could. It would be funny seeing you either as the librarian or as the unfit, like the nerdy unfit PE teacher.
Oh, that's interesting. That's like a subversion there.
Yeah, because like when people think of the unfit PE teacher, they always think of the fat male teacher.
Yeah.
Basically, I always thought like, what if you played that for the female? Like I know
Like,
many played up like
really thin, small, and it's like
and meek and everything like. And whenever you play them up being like the big brooding strong character, you have the woman from Matilda.
Yeah, Miss Honey.
Oh,
Or no, are you talking about the principal? Or
the trench.
teacher?
Trench. What's trench
The
bowl?
trench bowl.
Yeah, her.
Frozen.
Yeah.
Like you would have like if people made like a stereotypical like women people like back then they would have like characters like her.
You just want to see Bright spin around on the globe, don't you? That was the only thing I remember from that movie is this one aerial shot of, I think it was the trench bowl or maybe it was her. She's on the globe and it's like an above what's the thing I'm looking for? A high overhead shot, and she's like spinning around on the globe even though it's not physically possible to do that unless she was impaled in the side, but like
Yeah, that's true. I remember the chocolate cake.
Oh my god.
Actually, playing on the idea of Evan being the principal would actually be pretty funny as well.
I said I was the school, damn it. Anyway.
So Draconicus Media, if Draconicus Media were gonna make a school movie, it would have a gym teacher mentally unfit for comedic purposes and absurdity.
So you mean like the gym teacher from Sky High?
Oh boy.
Bruce Campbell as the gym teacher was the best thing in that movie. You can't even argue with me on that one.
I was like, underrated.
It was My Hero Academia made by Disney before My Hero Academia was made.
Yep, pretty much.
Fight me on that one.
Well, wasn't that Bruce Campbell's character's power is shouting or something like that?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
like he could like raise his voice or something like that.
Yeah.
Very quickly, like I want to get in my movie, it would just be a stoner comedy, and we'd be on a road trip, going to a big convention and picking up like a axe murderer and like getting separated and finally making it, and we see the ghost of Stanley.
So
this is a stoner comedy? My god.
So I was gonna say, Ant's road trip to Comic-Con?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something coming up there. Ants the movie go to a convention.
Yeah. We could each submit our own footage and like make a documentary together of like when we're able to go to conventions again. That would be amazing.
Dude, I would totally like to do Ants the movie. Honestly, that would be great.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun idea.
Evan, Ants hit Comic-Con.
Yeah.
We'll make it a thing one day, ladies and gentlemen. I promise you. Give it till about 2024.
Yay.
Episode.
I don't know. Maybe we'll be dead by that point. With that being said, it's like it's interesting. It really is.
Mhm. It's a good question.
Yeah. I've just been watching Okay, so on Hulu, there's this. Hold on, let me bring it up. Because it's so weird.
What about Hulu?
there's this series or the show, whatever, called Cake.
Cake. What is it about?
Is it about pie?
I have absolutely no idea.
Is it a cooking show? Is it a lie?
It's a lot of things. It's just random. Like the first episode, like it's literally just random stuff in each episode. Like they're all random things.
Is it animated?
No, they're like some stuff is animated, but it's all like either skits or just video, like random videos put together and all like that. Like there's no context to the opening of them. They're just played out before you. Like the first episode of it is literally a girl doing a whole music video about how she prefers to stay inside and not go out. And it's like her like talking about like how she feels and everything at her bed when she gets a text from her friend to go out, and she like it's literally her going like, I gotta pick everything of what I gotta wear. This is too tight. This doesn't breathe. Whatever. Like going with all that, and it's all like a music video, and I'm just going.
That sounds like a good show. I gotta check that out.
Yeah, and then like one of the other episodes is like has like this weird animation where this girl is, I guess, really obsessed about her online persona of who she is and all like that, and so she starts to think that's who she is now, or it becomes alive or something like that. Like, because like it's a whole thing of like it shows her on her laptop typing her name, her passwords like that, and cuts to her at school. She's writing her name as her online name.
Oh boy!
Like doing all that, and then it cuts
How
to
the
like
lines blur.
Then it cuts to like her online persona as her looking down at her, kills her, I guess, or something.
Oh boy!
It's just all weird, and I was just going like, I'm not high enough for any of this.
Wow.
Right, you're gone again. I don't know why. Maybe it's because you keep freezing on my end, but you know.
Maybe.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we apologize.
Do I see you?
You can see me. I can see you now, but then you like instantly froze. Kuma just is motion out. No, maybe it's the connection. Connections stink. Unless they're the big time ones. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting close to about 9 o'clock there. Cruiser and I are just waiting for the guy to arrive. We've got a little bit of a setback there. He's on his way right now. Awesome. So I apologize for any delay. With that said, how are you guys doing out there?
Yeah.
It's come to the point.
Well, it looks like
Up to the point where up to the fans.
Cruiser's waiting.
that movie would give my mother nightmares.
How you guys doing?
That movie would give him nightmares.
How are you guys doing? Is that the name of your movie? How you doing? How are you guys doing?
That takes the cake.
I was actually gonna see. I actually want to hear what Evan's serious plot for his movie would be. I could see it being a snuff film though. That would be fun.
Did I say snuff film?
Yeah, you did.
I completely forgot about that there. So I can hear a clock.
Yeah. Yep, that's my clock. It's a couple minutes to 9. That clock is fast.
Yeah, I can see that there.
You know when a clock is hungry, right?
No.
It goes back 4 seconds.
Well, that's it's been crazy.
It's been quite a day.
Yes, it has been quite a day. It has been quite a day, and
yep.
Anyway, so yeah, it's been crazy, you know. Oh, look at that! I think he's actually been able to join our Discord server. Actually.
Yeah.
Guys, keep talking. I'm gonna go take care of this stuff.
Yep.
All right, sweet, no problem.
Please do. Please do. Please do.
Ooh, you got some cards. I would love to be able to like do that. Like, what do you call that when it goes from one hand to the other?
They call it the card spring. Actually, I've been trying to learn it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like I want to learn how to do that, but like I would always hear. I would always hear like, "Don't bend the cards; it shortens their life." But it's like
you're
I
gonna
want to do the cool thing.
you're gonna bend them either way, honestly, because it's
Yeah.
Like, you really gotta like get a good grip on them.
That is pretty cool. The card spring.
I know, I love it. I just really can't get it like how people get it like so freaking further out. And
yeah. Maybe
Okay.
it's the quality of cards.
I don't know.
Eh.
But now I gotta pick them up.
52 pickup.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be getting him on soon. He's actually been able to enter our server. We'll be with you in a few moments. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be with you in just a couple of moments. In the meantime, we're going to be putting you on our waiting screen. Sit back, relax, and stand by, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back. We'll be right back with you to bring you Mr. Jon Bailey, the epic voice guy.
Yeah.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Nerdy Talk Show interview segment. We got here tonight Mr. Jon Bailey, the epic voice guy himself. John, it's a pleasure meeting you. I'm so glad you could join us tonight here.
Hi, glad to be here too. Thanks.
Now, I'm pretty sure you get asked this question a lot, but go ahead and please answer it again. How did you develop your epic voice?
I think you got the format wrong. This look wrong. This look wrong. Hang on. This looks normal.
There we go.
Look. He told me the wrong format, guys. It's not my fault. All right, there we go. Now I can see. What was the question one more time? I'll try this again.
How did you, I'm sure you get asked this question a lot, but please tell all of us, how did you develop your epic voice?
I first started doing an impression of Don LaFontaine, who is the original movie trailer guy that came up with, phrases like "in a world" and "one man."
I love Don LaFontaine.
He was a producer. He was not a voiceover guy. He was a producer, and somebody called in either sick or just couldn't show up, and they're like, "Don, why don't you try doing it?" And then he got in there, and of course he sounds amazing. And then that's been kind of an iconic voice ever since. And so my brother stumbled across Don's Geico commercial, and we kind of were able to put a face to the voice. And then he passed away very, very early. In his 50s from a rare heart thing. And so my brother had stumbled across that Pablo Francisco Little Tortilla Boy sketch. He's still doing that sketch, by the way. Still hasn't changed a bit in 50 years. And yeah, it's still funny as it was back then. Anyway, he was like, I bet you could do this better than him. And I started listening to it. I was like, well, he's basically taking Don's voice and Hal's voice, Hal Douglas from he passed away not as early, but he passed away as well. He's one of the both of them are two of the original movie trailer guys that are no longer with us. But he was the guy that you'd hear in things like The Odd Life of Timothy Green. He did that. Had that rom-com. So Pablo had taken Hal Douglas and Don and kind of made it into Don Douglas because he's had his own weird, unique version of it. And I was like, oh, I see what you did there, And I kind of started playing around with the voice a little bit, and I made a YouTube video with a fake movie trailer that I had written myself, but I wrote it into separate parts so each voice could have its own genre. So I did the Mark Elliott Disney DVD voice, and then the Don, and then all the ones that I could do. And my first manager came across that video after Don had passed away, because thankfully YouTube is the second biggest search engine next to Google, and by the time that he had passed away, my video had gotten a few 30 or 40,000 views over the last couple of years. Wow. And so it showed up earlier in the pages, and he's like, oh, look at this guy. And the guy who actually knew who the voices are. Nobody knows who they are, So he gave me a shot. He's like, I think we could work with you and kind of develop your own version. Right now you're just doing impressions of all these other guys, but I think you have your own unique voice in there. So I worked with one of their producers for about a year, and then it was kind of on the job training because I was actually booking trailers at the time. I was kind of working on my own stuff.
Oh, wow.
So by the time I'd already gone back to that same video they found me through, that my manager found. And but by the time they had seen it, I had already added my website to it, which kind of looked like a very early version of Netflix, just tons of thumbnails of all these DVDs.
Oh yeah, I hear you there.
That I'd done trailers for, and if some of them you could click on, it would take you to the trailer if I found it online or whatever. But yeah, that's kind of the point where it just kind of started professionally for me. Like, the first trailer I ever did, though, was for a Disney Pokemon game ripoff called Spectrobes Origins. It was like the first trailer I did was
Oh my
Game
god!
Train.
I've heard. I was at a card shop one time, and someone like they were like marketing that, and they just kept trying to like pull me in just to teach me how to play this game. It was crazy.
Yeah, and Evan actually works at Disney World too.
Yeah.
Okay, Evan, why don't you go ahead?
Let me think here. So you've done. What other trailers have we heard your voice on exactly, as of recent?
Dude, I lost track so long time ago, man. Every time somebody goes like, "Hey, is this you?" I'm like, I don't know, probably.
You've done that many gigs, huh?
Unless, yeah, honestly, because once the veil was lifted and people found out that I could do a lot more than just the stereotypical typecast announcer voice, and then all this other stuff opened up, and they were like, "Holy crap, you can do this and this and this." And next thing you know, I'm so busy I can't even keep up anymore.
Which, to be fair, is actually not uncommon, because a lot of voice actors, to my knowledge, just kind of go in, do their part, and then they're off to the next gig. They don't really give it a second thought.
I can say that I've done over 500 reel trailers, not counting anything that was on just YouTube stuff that wasn't real. But that includes game trailers and movie trailers, and also includes trailers for TV shows that were, like the season 2 of whatever on Blu-ray and DVD kind of. So there's all kind of trailers.
Wow.
I kind of stopped at first. 10 years ago, I could have told you every single one because there weren't that many, and I could remember them all. But now it's just like I give up. I can remember the cool ones. Like I did some cool stuff for History Channel. There was Car Week, which I guess technically that was a promo done in the style of a trailer, but I guess it still fits. The reason why that one was cool because it was David Hasselhoff versus it was going to be Mr. T driving the A-Team van, and David Hasselhoff driving Kit, and then Chip driving the Chips Patrol motorcycle. But Mr. T apparently was stealing the spotlight too much, so they got Faceman instead. But
Chips.
Yeah, Chips Patrol. That's the old cop show before I was born.
Oh, I was literally thinking Chocolate Chips Ahoy.
No.
Maybe Chip and Dale.
The famous cop that shows up as a cameo in pretty much every movie is as that one, motorcycle cop. But yeah, that one I worked on. Book of Eli is one of my favorite ones that I did.
Oh snap! I love that one.
Yeah, there's a lot of horror movies too. Insidious 2. There's a lot of stuff. I had to say things in trailers that were just like, it was like the scariest film since The Exorcist. I'm like, no, it's not. Are you? have you not watched The Exorcist?
Yeah, my personal favorite one that is when I see like the master of horror, Rob Zombie. No, he's not.
It's not how you spell Guillermo del Toro.
It's like how every single cellular phone company says we're the leader in 5G. Like, how can you all be the leader in 5G? Like,
yeah.
It's like the Highlanders. There can only be one. You can't all be awesome.
Wishful thinking.
Definitely.
Okay, Annette, why don't you go ahead and go?
I would like to ask, is there anything special you do to take care of your voice, like maintain it?
Yeah, I can't go to ball games. Well, now you guys know it. I have to do it. Like I was never able to go to ball games. I was never able to go to concerts. I was never able to go to places where I can't go to bars because you have to talk over people so loud. So I was doing the quarantine thing for decades.
Wow.
I was doing
so you're ahead of the game.
Before it was mandatory. I also take a lot of zinc. Zinc kind of helps you self-repair. Honey lemon tea. There's this Chinese throat coat remedy stuff that I can't pronounce to save my life. But
I love honey lemon tea.
If you look up Chinese throat medicine, you'll find it right away. It's got a red label. It's just too hard for me to pronounce. You can lukewarm salt water. Just gargle. Don't drink it. Just gargle it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've done that myself.
But yeah, and just staying away from germs and keeping your hands washed and all the stuff that they tell you to do not to get COVID. Basically, I was doing it before there was a COVID.
So like what, the face mask was like a briefcase for your mouth or something like that at the point?
Well, I have allergies, so I couldn't go out and breathe a lot of whatever air it is anyway, because I'll start nose will start running, eyes will start watering. And because I stay so booked, like I really don't have what little free time I do have, goes into social media content. So I don't have any other time to do anything else. So
wow.
I'm just in this box sweating my butt off or out there making content and stuff. And between, I'm just running errands as fast as possible to get back here so they don't call me before and I'm just not home. Like, usually that's what happens. Like, I need something from Ralph's. Can you get 5 minutes? I'm like, oh yeah. As soon as I get in the car and try to start thinking, hey, we got an ASAP audition. You got to do this right away. That's
Are those sound booths ever air conditioned?
It has a fan about, I don't know, 10 centimeters maybe.
Yeah, because the wind would make some background
fan,
noise.
And there's an intake fan, and then there's a fan so there's a fan that sucks air out and blows it out the other side.
Oh yeah.
You know, I usually turn it off because it makes the tiny bit extra noise, and I'm just I'd rather be quiet than be comfortable anyway.
Yeah.
All right,
Compared to
Kuma.
Memphis, this is nothing. And Memphis, like, humidity got up to 96%. I would be down to nothing but boxer shorts, just sweating.
Yeah.
Hey,
when you're recording, nobody can see you.
Yeah, video game sessions tend to run like 4 hours, and by hour 2, I'm like, can you just give me just one second to stick my head out the door? A little bit of oxygen.
Yeah. Kuma, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. What's like the first thing that comes to your mind when you see like when you first see the trailers and everything? Like
your glasses. That's the first thing. Oh, no.
It's always the glasses.
Yeah, these always come to mind.
Usually when I see a trailer, the first thing I think of is that nostalgic feeling that when you get to the theater, just the right time where you didn't miss anything, you get there just in time to see the previews and get ready for the movie that you're about to watch. And I'm glad we just actually took her to I wasn't planning on going to a movie today, but she was like, AMC's open, let's go to the movie while we're already here. And I'm like, I got a thing at 6, but anyway, so
thanks, Mrs. Epic Boys.
Like, my very first date with my wife when we weren't married, our very first date was going to a movie. So I mean, movies have always been kind of part of things.
Now, I'm pretty sure out of all the roles you've ever had, I think it's safe to say your most rewarding one has been being a dad. What do your kids think of all of this? I think that's a role. I think that's just a job. A job.
Yeah, my kids.
No, I'm auditioning to be a dad next week.
You know what's funny is that I get so many auditions for that particular voice. Like, we need a dad by 40. Everything I am, and I never ever book it. And like, that's literally describing me. But they don't really want me. They want a guy that sounds like Bob Saget, you know.
Oh god.
But yeah, I just
the new generation doesn't even know who Bob Saget is.
I know.
I mean, unless they watch How I Met Your Mother.
Well, I think maybe they do because of that guy on YouTube that has that Tourette syndrome and just curses Bob Saget's name at the top of his lungs. My idiot voice actor friends, we went to Flappers to see Rob Paulson's Talking Tunes one night. This was like right before I moved here. Yeah, right before I moved here. And so they wanted to hang out afterwards because I was in town. A couple other people that normally weren't there. They're like, there's a place right around the corner. So we literally walk around the corner from the Hollywood Improv. And these guys were telling me, they keep yelling Bob Saget, and they're all laughing. I'm like, what do y'all keep yelling Bob Saget for? I said, oh, you haven't seen it? And they start telling me about this thing. And you have to understand, when voice actors get together, not only do they like to talk a lot, they like to talk over each other and loudly. This guy's sitting there,
voice actors like to talk.
And
wow.
You know, it's that thing where you're like, somebody's sitting in front of you, like they're facing you, and you just kind of look over their shoulder, and Bob Saget's literally sitting right there while these guys are yelling. I was like, look, you summoned him just like Candyman. And they thought I was joking. Like, oh, Bob Saget. I was like, why don't you turn around for 2 seconds? And they're like, that's Bob Saget.
Wow.
And I was like, hey, do you mind if I get a picture? He's like, okay, we just want everybody after me. They're like, oh, no, I'm not going to. I was like, suckers. That's what you get for yelling Bob Saget's name all the time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Get a picture, but he didn't let you have one. He like snatched my phone out of my hand. He was like, "No, I'll take it." He was like so drunk.
Bob Saget.
Bob Saget was wasted.
Oh
wow!
I was like, taking my own selfie.
So, what do your kids think of all this?
I was about to say, like, my kids have always been big fans of the stuff, even before I was professional. I was reading in their school. They have what's called Star Student Day. Every student at some point would be, the student of the week. And at one point during the week, their parents could come for lunch, and then they get to stay in the class afterwards. And sometimes they'll ask a parent to read a book. Well, they made the mistake of asking me to read a book. And of course, I do voices. The kids didn't want to let me go. They kept like, here, read another one. I was like, okay, I can't stay here all day. But before I left, and you have to understand, this is a kindergarten class of about 30 kids. I was like, hey, you guys like SpongeBob? They're like, yay! I'm like, you want to know how to laugh like SpongeBob? Like, yay! I'm like, take your hand like this. So I taught them all how to laugh like SpongeBob.
Oh no! I have a room full of
My
kids.
God.
30 kindergartners running around the classroom going,
You
and I'm like, okay, bye.
you just caused so many teachers.
You dropped the atom bomb right
Not
there.
just the teachers. Not just teachers. Later on, we had
Parents.
this kid drags his like, Mom, this is the guy. She's like, you're the one. I'm like, what did I do? Like, you keep looking at laugh like SpongeBob. I'm like, oh, hey, let's go over here and look at the airplane, guys. Run away!
Oh
Okay, Evan, you're next.
Oh my god. So who you've since you're getting more into like the voice acting business, who are some of the guys you've worked with throughout the years?
You're getting more into the voice acting. Sorry, I've only been doing this professionally for like 13 years, but thanks. Since I'm brand new and all, Peter Cullen was what really inspired me to kind of want to do this job. I heard it first in the Voltron intro, and then again in Optimus Prime's voice, and instantly became a Transformers fan. And then that kind of like followed me all the way till the internet was invented, where we could actually look up who was who. I didn't know Peter Cullen was Peter Cullen until we finally figured out which actor did which voices, because back in the day, in the 80s, they didn't really, they credited everybody that worked on the show, but they figure it out. You can't read anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, Peter Cullen's kind of always inspired me. But there's a lot of people that I look up to in this business: Tom Kane and John DiMaggio, Terry Strong, Debbie Derryberry, E.G. Davis. There's just a lot of business to look up to. But some of my favorite people in the business: Christina Militia, she's the new Green Lantern. The Cruz Green Lantern, not Ted Cruz. The other.
Yeah.
She's also Poison Ivy, which is really cool and
sweet.
really awesome to have people in this business that like you see them go from somebody who just had one or two main things, all of a sudden they're just like working on Nickelodeon or they're working on Cartoon Network, and I'm like, that's freaking cool. So I never thought I'd be working on Animaniacs, but there you go.
Whoa! Seriously?
All right.
Apparently, you guys didn't read my IMDb before you invited me to be.
I did. I do my research.
The butt kisser is. I did it, teacher.
You told me on Stardust, dude. Told me on Stardust.
Nobody likes to kiss up, bro.
But no, jokes aside, I love interviewing performers and actors, and I always pride myself with doing research before I
got a lot of people that. So anytime something new comes out, I always post it, even though everybody's constantly 24/7 with the "What are you working on that you can?" I'm like, okay, let me explain this to you for the bajillionth time. We're not allowed to talk about it until it comes out. Once we're allowed to say something, the first thing that we do is post it publicly so you all can know. So asking me ahead of time, I'm not falling for that.
It's a non-disclosure agreement, right?
Yes, I'm not stupid enough to get baited into giving away something early, because they can recast somebody all the way up to the week before they publish something.
Wow.
Well, just for example, what if somebody gets into a Me Too situation or an IRS situation or a drunk? I mean, look what happened with there was an actor on SpongeBob that got arrested for drunk driving at one point. You never really know what might happen. Everybody, it was forgive and forget. Things moved on. But in some cases, they may not be able to come back, and they need to be able to re-record it, and they can't have that actor already announced that they worked on this program, and then they're gone. I mean, I don't know if you've heard about what happened to Jason Biggs with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but it's worth the Google.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, Annette, go ahead.
All right.
Anyway, so let me finish the point. So there was recently an anime that I worked on, and somebody tagged me because they saw the credits on Funimation's tweets or whatever, and it was just like, and now it's not even the main character that I voiced for the show, but in that one episode I was just a character, but he just copied everybody's things and posted like congrats to the cast of such and such and at everybody that worked on it, and then I'm like, oh, I guess that means I can talk about it now. So I went and asked the producer just to be safe. He's like, yes, you can say something. It's now on Funimation's website and all this good stuff. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I found the link, whatever, posted up there. I must have gotten 2 or 3 dozen people. We're working on anime now. Congrats on your first anime gig. I'm like, you mean the one that I booked in 2013? Because that was the first one.
Okay.
And they don't congratulate people on the wrong thing. You might embarrass you.
Okay, Annette.
All right. Like I've been thinking about how movie trailers, like they used to have like voiceovers all the time, but now I hardly notice like those that have a voiceover accompanied with them. Have you noticed that? Like how few
Yeah, you're
trailers
you're
have
just
that?
not looking. You're not looking in the right place. You're
Yeah.
talking specifically about theatrical trailers. Once they go to
Ah.
television, there's all kind of voices on them. As they go on to radio, they have to put a voice on it. If it's on the radio, if it's on Spotify, if it's on Pandora, if it goes on YouTube. Yeah, they're usually what happens is the main theatrical trailer or the early sneak peek preview version. The only time you ever hear in something like that going to be in a family-friendly kid movie or in like a comedy. Comedies and kids movies always have voiceover because some of their audience members may not be able to read yet.
Right.
But if it's an action movie or whatever, the only time you hear a voice is at the very end for the title and the rating, and that's pretty much it. But once it goes to a TV campaign, you're talking about 20 to 50 spots worth about 1,000 to 2,000 or 3,000, depending on the actor per person, and that can be a very, very big paycheck. And every single one of those spots also goes onto YouTube, so they have to pay extra for whatever media it goes onto. So it's still out there. Just you got to know where to look for it. It was a lot. It used to be a lot more in theaters, but now there's less.
Yeah, well,
Everywhere
that's
else,
very
it's
interesting
pretty
to
much
know.
All right, Kuma.
Akuma Matata.
What was?
All right, we'll move on.
I'll be quiet. I remember looking at his IMDb page too. Okay, I just don't have it in front of me. I'm trying to remember. Sorry.
Trying to remember. He Googles.
No.
I can see your screen. No. He's literally Googling like, I remember from earlier.
No. I literally looked up your stuff.
He was in.
No, I literally looked up your stuff like 2 days after we were guaranteed that you were on here.
2 seconds ago, then okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it was Shenmue 2 or 3, was it?
I thought it was Shenmue. Maybe I'm pronouncing it right. Yeah, Shenmue 3.
Yeah, that one. I was just thinking of like from going. Because you said this earlier, going from doing for voices both in movies or trailers and like for games. Which out of which one gives you more free use to like of how you can use your voice?
Well, usually video games, you're making less money for more time and for a whole lot more vocal stress. Whereas for a trailer, I could probably be done in 5 minutes and make 3 times more money. But as far as the creative process goes, usually when I get a video game, I get to do multiple characters, and characters are always my favorite things to do. So usually when I book one main, they automatically add on at least 2 other voices. Sometimes it'll be 3 or 4 or 5 voices if they only have a few lines or whatever. Same thing with anime. There may be just some background. They call it walla, or just the extra background temp scratch track, whatever. But usually it's just anybody that's talking in the background. They have to record somebody saying something. So especially in anime, you'll notice that a lot of people are just kind of randomly talking about things in the background, but none of it really makes any sense. You really should, if you can ever figure out a way to isolate the sound. Some of the voice actors really do mess around a lot with the background stuff. There's a lot of stuff that you probably didn't even notice before. It's turned down so low, you're always paying attention to what's on the front of the screen. There's literally one actor friend of mine that literally goes walla 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 walla. He's saying walla, or he's just saying watermelon, watermelon, watermelon. But you have to really pay attention to it. You have to listen to it with headphones on in order to hear it. It gives me a chance to scratch a creative itch and show people what I'm capable of doing. Whereas the thing that everybody knows me for and often thinks that that's the only thing I can do is that one thing. And then until he asked me, he's like, "Hey, can you do such and such?" I'm like, "Yeah, here you go." I'm like, "Holy crap! I had no idea you could do that. Why nobody told me this?" I was like, "The same thing." I'm working on another Ryan Reynolds project, and the guy that's casting was like, "Man, how have I not heard of you before?" I'm like, "Well, that really does just throw some shade on my agent, and my manager, really, because I don't know why they haven't pitched me to you either. Because I did like 5 or 6 celebrities in a row for him. He's like, holy moly, that was amazing. I even made it all the way through that billionaire genius that I can't even ever say, and just like smooth as butter. And he was like, I don't even know, but like one or 2 people that can do Robert Downey Jr.'s voice. So yeah, a lot of people are just blown away when they start hearing other things that I'm capable of. And then I did a video game recently. It was like, can you do a French accent? I don't know if you need me to do a French accent, but I can. All day long. If you need it to me more, I can add that to you.
Yeah.
We also often have to do something more subtle. And I believe I also did some Scottish for him, and I'm not really great with accents. It's just like it's for the basics, that I've got from my own. Because he just kind of sprang it on me. He's like, we got these other guys. Can you do this for this and this for this and this for this? So you kind of have to always have some stuff in your pocket. But I have a cheat sheet. I have a website that has like every accent on the planet. So I don't have to remember them all off the top of my head. But for something that simple where it's like basic British, basic Cockney, basic French or whatever, I just kind of in my head. But it's not just can you use accent. You have to create a character out of it. They just have to have an accent. So I have to have a character already loaded in the chamber so I can just throw an accent on it and then there you go.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a lot of time either. They just literally give you I'll give you a couple seconds to look it over.
So you really have to be like an improv artist to like land one of these.
What's your usual go-to accent?
You can't really improv much with scripts because usually, especially certain types of scripts, if they're dubbed games from not America, sometimes they can't put ad libs in there. Like it has to fit it has to be certain words a certain way. Sometimes it doesn't translate well, and I'm just like, can I just say it like this? And then I do it like that sounds way better. We're gonna change the script. Hang on.
That actually is a good segue into what I was about to ask you next. Is there actually a role you wish more people knew you from?
I think a lot of people don't realize that I do so much sound like work. Mainly the Transformer stuff, which is I'm surprised more people haven't noticed about it. Only really Transformers fans really notice about it. Other people outside of that only know me for just honest trailers or just. I tend to have these little pockets of fans. I have XCOM fans. And over here, I got some Transformers fans. And over here, I got some Ryan Reynolds fans. And over here, I got Honest Trailers fans. And so they're kind of all spread. I wish I could just combine them all together to merge one giant flaming sword, Just
been there, done that.
Make a Voltron of fans so they're all together.
Yeah.
All right, Evan, you're next.
Actually, I was going to go to our chat room here. We got a couple of them for you. The first one is actually a request from a guy named Clan Productions. He says, can you say happy birthday to my friend Wolfie Chew? It's her birthday today.
Happy birthday, Wolfie Chew. It's your birthday today. See, I can say it.
Yay!
And
they weren't specific about what ways to do it. Specific. I don't know what you want.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have another one, Evan, or was that, or did you want to move on?
Let's pick another one from in the chat.
Yeah, there's one other question.
Make sure to include a voice, or otherwise I'm just going to say it in my own voice.
Of course. Yeah, there you go there. Throughout your career, how many other YouTube channels have asked you to guest voice collab with them?
I lost count so long ago. I'm working on a Nostalgia Critic thing today. Low power mode, that's not good. Mm-hmm. Working on a Nostalgia Critic thing today. I'm a regular, recurring, Annoying Orange still going strong after all these years.
Oh, wow.
Everybody always has that same look, too. Like, what? Annoying Orange is still out there.
Like, Annoying Orange is still going on?
They still get insane amount of views. I don't know why people have forgotten them. I guess they just moved on to, but kids still freaking love that stuff.
Yeah. I used to love watching them because the fruit puns, obviously.
Nice. Yeah, I'm prime for and a bunch of other folks on there. It's really cool. Yeah, how it should have ended. I'm on there every once in a while. Usually they have me on there as Ant-Man or some of the Marvel characters.
Sweet, man.
Guys. Yeah, just a little bit of everything. There's a lot of channels where it's just like, hey, I'm doing a thing. Can you record this for this much money? Or, sometimes I go through my Fiverr page, which is basically a charity fundraiser type deal. And I'll get somebody that's like, oh, I've got like 20 words for some YouTube things. I have no idea where it ends up. When I went to Comic-Con 2018, I think it was 2018, I ran into Todd McFarlane and Michael J. White at the Spawn reunion panel.
Oh, nice.
And all this thing online called Spawn Recall. He's like, was that fan-made film? It's like 9 or 10 minutes long. I was like, yeah. I was like, that was me. I was Spawn and Clown in that. He's like, are you kidding me? Oddly enough, they didn't even tell me it was Spawn. I probably would have done an even better job had I known. They didn't ever say what it was. So there's stuff out there, and that video went crazy viral because it was like the best thing that there's ever. Honestly, the graphics were better than the original 90s Spawn movie, and people don't even realize They don't put two and two together. There's a lot of people who are like, I think Peter Cullen's going to be the next Spawn. No, I was just saying, not really know.
I used to watch that several times. I used to watch that video several times too. I'm right here going, dang, yeah, holy crap.
You want your mommy to be happy?
All right, Annette, you're next.
Have you done or have you considered doing audiobook work?
I did one, never again.
No?
Really?
After
Why?
that first time, it was so brutal, man. I was doing 5 to 7 hours of recording a day, and the last day I had to do 18 hours straight in order to not miss my flight the next day or the next day.
Wow.
Wow.
And it was that usually you get a book, months early, so you can kind of read it through out loud to kind of get all the words out of the way. It's a highly technical book with a lot of foreign countries that we couldn't get a hold of the author to find out if the pronunciation was correct or not. It was just a overall brutal experience. By the time it was over with, my throat was just, and as little as it pays, now don't get me wrong, for per job it pays great, but compared to what I make for a week's worth of work, like so many jobs I would have had to say, like, sorry, I'm busy doing this audio.
Yeah, it's very time intensive.
Yeah. I'll give you an example. Last week I probably did 3 dozen auditions and at least 5 different bookings, 5 different sessions were all, an hour to 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever. Just last week. That's just 1 week. There's just no way I could do that and do a full audiobook. There's not enough time. I would never sleep. I'd be never sleep.
Machine. You're a man.
All right, Kuma, you're All right, Kuma, you're next.
Okay. Crap. I was just laughing for a second. I blanked on my question.
Okay. Well, all right. In that case, Evan, do we have any more fan questions?
Yes. Clan Productions actually followed up on your thing for the requested voice. He wondering if you could say happy birthday to her in the epic voice guy standard voice. Her name was Wolfie Chew.
Standard voice. It's not standard. Let's see you do it.
Hey. I don't know. I can't get my
Wolfie Chew. Wolfie Chew, who can't decide on what voice she wants. Or he. I don't know who that is. They.
Yeah, but she just wanted you to say happy birthday in that voice to her.
That's awesome.
In that voice.
Yeah.
Kuma, did you remember your question?
Okay, yeah, I think I remembered it. From recent trailers, like from anything you've watched, what's been your thoughts on anything?
Well, I can tell you that I'm looking forward to King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yes.
And I'm rooting for King Kong, but I feel like he's the underdog here. But I'm almost 100% sure that the two of them are going to end up buddying up to fight whatever next thing's going to pop up at the end of the movie. But if it's not Pacific Rim, I'll stay with all right. It's really freaking cool.
Yeah, they all have a theory to say that it's going to involve Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah, I've heard that one before too. But I feel like if you don't throw some Kaiju Pacific Rim stuff in there at some point, I mean, that's just, they own them all. They've been talking about throwing them in there together forever, so here's your chance.
I actually had an experience with Ella McLean, the voice of Gypsy Danger, and I asked her if she could take on Godzilla, and what she does, grabs me by the collar, pulls me in, and says, let me tell you something right now. I went on my son's podcast as Gypsy Danger, and I'm pretty sure Godzilla has nothing compared to this. And I just back up slowly, like, okay, thank you.
I hope King Kong gets a mech suit too. That'd be freaking cool.
Mecha Kong just comes back.
Mecha Kong.
Go for it.
Mecha Kong.
Yeah, well, they turn Jet Jaguar into a Jaeger or something.
Versus Mecha Godzilla.
Well, speaking of King Kong, I know you're a fan of that. You're a fan of Transformers. Have you been on any of the rides of these things at Universal Studios?
Well, Hollywood, yeah. The only thing I haven't got to ride on was when they updated the Jurassic Park ride to the Jurassic World ride, but that was right before quarantine, so I never got a chance to go. But hopefully, eventually, when things open back up somewhat, I'll get a chance to ride on that. But
and also
is always one of my favorite rides down there. But my kids are really looking forward to Mario Land, which they've got a lot of progress work done while things have been shut down, which is kind of cool. So at least there's that. There's a silver lining somewhere.
Yeah, I'd actually be kind of curious to know what you would think of the King Kong ride that we have down here in Florida, where basically you're in a bus, but the screen is completely around you. It's a simulator ride, but I've
seen videos of it, and I've always wondered. I've never
Well, of course he's open. Fly down here. You're more than welcome to join us.
You pay for the flight, then I'll be happy to come.
Okay, Evan.
This thing I just got $1 million. I can just hop in my G5 and just come down to Florida whenever I feel like it. I'm going to tell you the same thing that the guy who plays Abed told to Larry King. I work in cartoons.
Yeah, I remember
He works
that.
in cartoons. I work on even less than that. So he's like, I work on DuckTales, Larry.
Nice.
He was asking him, like, what's a luxury that you can't live without? He's like, I don't know, coffee, comfortable socks. He's like, those aren't really luxuries. That's just like, you know, what's something that really that you? It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I work on DuckTales, bro.
Yeah, I like that was hilarious.
Like, what is Larry King? Larry King must think we make millions of dollars doing this job.
Oh my God, may that go.
Can't
Rest
live
in
without my
peace.
solid gold G5.
Yeah.
Evan, you're next.
So as you know, a lot of people want to go into voice acting there. What do you say is a good tips for making your own demo reel?
If you don't know anything about editing audio, I don't recommend making your own demo. Because you don't know. You might think you know what gets hired, but you don't. So, and you don't know what your own best work is until you hear somebody that actually has a professional opinion, either an agent or a manager or a casting director. So, if you know what you're doing, you know, more power to you. Save yourself a few bucks, but find somebody that's good. Just don't get somebody that just makes your demo into one of those carbon copy, cut and paste. You know, everything sounds the same.
Yeah, this is what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, because that's what it does. The problem is demo producers are very good at making people who either aren't ready or not very good sound amazing, and it's it's almost false advertising for some folks, and they spend lots of money, like $2,000-$3,000 to get these things made. And you know, the problem is the agents know that now. They know that people spend a lot of money to have a good demo made, but that doesn't mean that they're ready for the job. You know, so it's just like, oh, thanks for that demo.
Definitely.
Get somebody who knows what they're doing. It should not have the same sound all the way through. It should be different audio qualities. It should have different background sounds. I've heard so many copy and paste demos where it's like MIDI track after MIDI track after MIDI track.
Oh my God.
It sounds so basic and standard, and it's like.
Yeah, these are actually lessons I remember learning from you when I had a coaching with you. Okay,
thanks for breaking that non-disclosure agreement, by the way.
Don't worry, I'll splice it out of the interview.
I told you not to talk about it outside of class. Don't give away my.
Oh, so you do remember our session?
People paid.
Don't worry, I'll splice it out of the interview. Don't worry about that.
Big head over here. He thinks I know. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
All you white people look alike. Get out of here.
I had a question. I gotta come back to it because like listening to your story, it made me forget. So come back to me.
Kuma, do you have something?
No, I got nothing right now.
Okay, well,
oh, okay, I got one. I remembered it. So, what are some like great memories or stories that you can tell about fan interactions? What's like some of the best fan interactions you've had?
I don't know about fan interactions. Stalker interactions have been interesting.
Oh boy.
I had that. I don't know how many of you guys are young enough to remember Chris Farley, but I had one of those Chris Farley show moments where this fan apparently had been following me for some time at Comic-Con, and finally caught up to me. He's like, "Hey, you're Jon Bailey, right?" Started shaking my hand. It was between Jim Carrey and
I know that one.
Batman.
Oh.
You know, and I was like, I'm gonna need that hand back. He literally like, hey, you remember that honest trailer you did for such and such? That was awesome. And for like 15 minutes straight. And I'm like, okay, this is getting a little creepy because he like the more I tried to pull away, the more he like gripped onto my arm.
Yeah.
And my wife like, hey, honey, we're late for that panel thing. And I'm like, yeah, I gotta get going. Sorry, you know. She's like, I was trying to rescue you. I was like, I noticed. Thank you.
Yeah. One of those Chris Farley interview
moments.
moments.
But, you know, for anybody out there that lives in the LA area that happens to recognize me, if you see me with my family and you leave me alone, I sincerely appreciate it. I know the temptation must be when you see somebody famous. And in my case, I promise I'm not. I'm just a guy with a fun job. That's it. I'm not a famous person. I'm just a regular dad dude. But I know that everybody is famous to somebody. But for those people who find somebody that they're a huge fan of and they see them out in public with their family when you're kind enough and respectful enough to leave them alone because they're with their families right now and they're out in public, it sincerely appreciate that, because it really kind of throws a lot of luck on it whenever you come up and you see struggling with an autistic kid, and I've got these other 3 kids, and my wife's just losing it, and not a good time to go like, can I get a selfie with you, Mr. Bailey?
No.
Now, one of the things I know you have actually talked about in at least on Stardust was that you are actually a devout Christian, and sometimes it can actually be hard to be one out in LA. Can you tell us about some of the struggles of that?
I mean, you have other people that are Christians in the entertainment business, and fans constantly come to you with trying to throw shade and be like, how can you be friends with this person because they believe this and this? And like, look, I'm not beating you over the head with the Bible, so don't come and telling me what I can and can't do when I'm not gonna sit here and preach at you. So don't sit there and try to be like, I'm right, so you should listen to me and you should change your mind. You don't see me doing that. All I really do is just share the joy that I've got in my heart with other people. And if you put it this way, when Jesus Christ came to the earth, did he go and talk to every single person on the planet at the time? No. He followed a very strict path, and he came into contact with people on his journey. He was directed to the right places. That's kind of how I do things. I feel like everything happens for a reason. I'm going to be in this place at this time for this particular reason, and that's why I'm supposed to be there. And I find myself like, there's just no way there's this many coincidences. I'm sorry. The only way you can explain this is through divine intervention, because I'm not a lucky person. I don't win 1-in-1 free Diet Pepsis wins a free Diet Pepsi. I'm not that guy. Like, I don't go gambling for a reason, and yet God continuously puts me in places where I'm being blessed, and I'm helping somebody else, and then I get blessed even more. And it's like, can't explain that. It's just not possible. It's just not way.
Yeah,
I've had living in a town with millions of people and just happen to run into certain places at certain times.
Yeah, I've had instances because at least with me, I have a family of like 4 other siblings, and it's really hard for me to not think there's something out there, because my younger brother, he's actually in the medical record books for being the youngest kid in America to ever be put on an insulin pump. He was diabetic. Whoa. He was diabetic since birth. He was 2 when they put him on the pump. He actually holds a record that virtually nobody wants. He had a near fatal skull fracture. He actually has screws in his arm from when he fell off a bunk bed. He broke his arm at the age of 3. Like, my brother, not to make a joke out of this, you could say he was the real Tim Taylor when he was a baby.
Wow.
And the fact that, the skull fracture, like, that was the scariest one. Because I remember the doctor saying, you might want to start making some phone calls. And that's when my 2 sisters drove nonstop from Florida to New York. We lived in Buffalo at the time. And just to watch over my brother. And somehow he lived. We don't know how that. Yeah. So and not to mention with working at a hospital, and I see miracle cases. Like, I'm convinced there's something else going on out there. I have no idea what, but if you're going to try to tell me that we're all just wandering through nothingness, no, I don't buy that for a second.
But as far as the actual question goes, I've had other voice actor friends that are like, you're a Christian? Does that mean you're all like why is that a bad thing? I'm not beating you up the head being like, are you all Jewishy? Like, why are you?
What?
Because if I said, I've had Jewish friends who are like, accuse me of being Jesus-y. I'm like, I'm not going around saying, hey, are you Jewishy?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, because Annette there actually is Jewish.
Like, you're over the head with Jewish stuff. I'm not beating you over the head with Christian stuff. So but yeah, I've run into a few times where it was like, and other times where I've had a job that I was under contract to do, and there would be some language in it, and they would be like, well, we really need you to do it this way, and most of the time they're pretty cool about me like not doing it, but then they'll do it, or they'll claim that they're going to censor it, and then they don't, and then people are like, yeah, but I've heard you say bad words, so why can't you? I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm sorry, but you don't understand my contract situations, but I don't do that if I don't have to. I don't do gambling ads. I don't do hentai jobs. I don't do, adult 18 plus stuff. In fact, there was sometimes where I'll book a job and not realize what it is until after I get there. I'll give you a good example. If my battery will last, I got 10% left. But I was dubbing for this basically an Italian version of The Sopranos. Netflix bought a bunch of foreign films that had to be dubbed into English, and I've been trying to it's basically like getting paid to learn how to do dubbing, really, because it doesn't pay.
Wow.
But but it's like on the job training for me. So I'm like, but you know, it doesn't pay much. And you know, so it's a pretty decent room. There's like one of the main actors from Voltron there. There's a main actor from Moana there. There's like a pretty decent cast here for just a dubbing session, you know. And then the casting director, who a lot of you guys would know, comes in. It's like, okay, guys, you ready for the big orgy scene? We're like, you know, all right, we'll see you. And then we go into the room, and sure enough, on this big giant 60-inch screen, there it is. And I'm like, oh, he wasn't kidding. And then of course, with all dubbing sessions, they have to show the scene to you before you dub it. And I'm sitting there like not looking but listening. I'm like, there's not a lick of English in this entire scene. Why do you need to redub this? This is just completely pointless that you're making me do this thing.
Just grunts and moans. Like,
Yep. So I guess the moral of the story is
Grunts in English.
If you're a Christian or you're a person of faith or you have, you know, certain ethical code that you prefer not to do certain types of things, always read extra careful on the stuff that you get. And if you're still not sure, ask questions to make sure that you're not going to get stuck in a situation like I've gotten stuck in before, where you're like so embarrassed about the job that you can't tell your parents what you booked. So yeah, that's one of those things where as soon as I get out, I'm like, Lord, please forgive me. Sorry about that right there, God.
in general, it's good to always read the
Okay, 'cause
contract.
my character got killed in the first season, so it's fine.
Do you actually need to get your charging cord?
Yeah, if you're gonna give me a few seconds.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Cool. You know, I didn't want to leave in the middle of your story about you.
Hey man, it's no problem. It's no problem. Whatever you
Yeah.
schedule.
Go ahead and get your cord. It's no big deal.
Yep.
Man, this is one of the things that I love about interviewing performers is that they have just a lot of stories.
I'm probably gonna splice this scene out too as well. So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that's the thing. Like
I'm gonna sneeze.
philosophical. I'm almost actually kind of nervous to actually ask Jablonski's request.
Oh did he answer that he still did it? That he still did it though?
What the orgy thing? No, he said his character died.
I thought you meant the movie in general.
I still did the job. I just didn't know about it before I'd already signed the paperwork.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes that'll happen where I'll do a job. I'll sign for a job, or they'll be like, "Hey, we got a casting for you. Are you available this time?" They don't really ever say like, "Oh, there's going to be a lot of this and this and this and this in it," and it's like, "Oh, wow."
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I don't know who's listening either. Dude, you guys know I work from home. My cord's like 3 feet away. So.
That's good.
I gotta say, so far this interview's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, this has been great, man. Yeah.
Right
You have to do your notes.
Trying to think of other questions.
You know what? It might be easier to do a block instead.
Because you're still thinking.
What was that, Evan?
Still thinking of something to ask.
Dude, I already had this stuff thought out. I'm a pro like that.
I know you're a pro, really.
Yes.
I'm better than you are.
Exactly.
See, he agrees with me.
Yeah, in just we trust. That's what I say.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Shut up with that.
All right, we're plugged in now, thankfully.
Yeah.
It's funny because in just is like a reversal of the syllables in your name. I just realized that.
Okay, Evan, you have a question? Evan, you're next.
Oh, me, yeah. Early back, you were demonstrating some work with accents. Was that like developed through like personal interactions in like the country they originated from, or like anything from that, or like were you like studying like other
Yes, I have a French friend and a British friend and a South African friend. No, it's literally just I hear a voice, I listen to the accent, and then I do it back until it comes naturally to me. Because I mean, some accents are actually quite difficult. Like South African, that's really hard to do, you know, because you have to do that this special kind of like little thing, you know, eh? Like little thing, you know, like what's his face from District 9, you know?
Oh yeah.
With the prawns, you got the prawns. You take the prawns. Yeah, accents can be very difficult because sometimes for video games you'll have very specific one. and then you'll have two that are very close together, and you'll find yourself slipping out of Australia and then British, or vice versa. Or you find yourself slipping from New Zealand to Australia because they're very, very close together. So yeah, and a lot of people just forget that, because we're here in America, when we think of British, this is what we automatically think of. But there's like dozens of accents.
Yeah, there's like four.
Even tons of different Irish accents.
You got 4 different people in the Beatles that all had different accents, but they were from
Oh
England.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, down here in the South, we have different types of. Sorry.
Yeah, and you got Scottish, and you've got Irish, and you've got Cockney, and you've got upper class British. There's just a lot of stuff over there, but that's why I have to use a cheat sheet, because if they're very specific, it's like, oh man, I don't remember what that one sounds like. But it's called dialectarchive.com, and it's literally got like 2 male samples and 2 female samples of every accent on the planet, which is
wow.
That way you can just immediately look up, okay, I need somebody from da-da-da-da, and then click, listen. Okay, cool, I'm good to go.
That's crazy. I mean, I was asking that because I was actually at a panel with Paul St. Peter, and he said he was able to develop it through like his teachings. He was actually in Scotland doing teaching, and he was actually able to pick it up there, and I was curious whether or not that was like
what I do. For a $900 video game, I travel all the way on my own dime to Ireland, pick up the accent, and then travel on my own dime all the way back for a $900 job that I'm only going to make half of because of taxes and my agent and my manager taking 50% of it. So that seems like a super beneficial way to get an accent.
That was just based on experience there.
Good for Paul, but doesn't work so well for Cheapo McCheap Pants. I use the internet because
what would be your usual go-to? What's your go-to accent?
This one?
No.
Normal voice.
American?
No, like when you have to do a different accent, what's your go-to one?
Well, I mean, everybody's got a basic accent, so I have a basic for every country. You got Australian, you got, your basic little Australian there, and then you've got your New Zealand, which is a little bit different. And you got that there, right? And then you've got, your crusty upper crust British fellow, which I use for a lot of evil villains and so forth. And then you've got the Cockney fellas that usually the job's done, sug, that kind of character. That's got the stuff. But you have to have at least a dozen or so basic accents from across the planet. I mean, you have to have a Spanish accent. You have to have a French. I never even realized until this last video game I worked on that French can slip into Spanish very easily.
I know.
You start
I
off
heard
with
that.
French, and all of a sudden it starts to sound a little bit Spanish, and you're like, oh crap, I've slipped accents.
Okay, Annette.
Excuse my cat Fiona over here. Who she actually?
Fiona, get back in the swamp, Fiona. Get in my belly.
But yeah, have you done?
Lord Farquaad.
Have you done animal noises for voice?
I'm not as good as Frank Welker is or D. Bradley Baker. They're insanely talented at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got a handful of creature stuff that I do. I was Rush the dog for Mega Man 11. One of the shortest sections I think I've ever done. I literally barked 3 times and I'm like, okay, that's good. Out of 3 barks, that's every time you hit the Y button, there's Rush.
There you go. Press Y for John. There you go.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kuma, do you have a question?
Out of all the characters from animation and all like that, what character's voice would you want to switch out for yours to be a permanent thing?
I don't know about a permanent thing, but I've already got to cross that list off. I've already been Optimus Prime, Shockwave, and Soundwave officially for some stuff. So those were my 3 favorite characters, and that was a bucket list that I never thought I would cross off, was because I was very specific. I was like, I want to be the voice of a Transformer in something official, with me not doing Optimus Prime's voice, but Peter Cullen doing it instead, because that way I can say I actually worked with Peter Cullen in something Transformers as another Transformers character. And that's literally the scene that I got. It's literally Soundwave shows up and I say Decepticons attack, and then Optimus Prime says Autobots fall back, and then Shockwave says, destroy the launch pad and let nothing escape. And there's me, Peter Cullen, and me in one scene, and I'm like, holy crap, that was the bucket list thing. I can't believe that happened in just barely a decade.
Wow.
I thought that was one of those things that was going to sit on the back burner of my bucket list and collect cobwebs because it was just never going to happen. I assumed if I ever even got close to Transformers, Peter Cullen would have already been retired or something bad might have happened to him because he's so much older, smokes a lot, drinks a lot, that kind of stuff. So but yeah. It was really cool because it wasn't just him. It was also Steve Bloom and Greg Griffin and David Sobolov, all three of them whom I know. And it's like that's freaking fantastic to get to work on something with like four of my favorite people.
Mm. Now, seeing as you're a big fan of Transformers as well as the ride, what do you think of Bayformers?
This is one of those questions I should have said let's not talk about.
Yeah.
Understood.
I don't know about you, but if you work for Walmart, you don't go into Walmart and start bashing Walmart.
No.
Fair enough. Okay, fair enough.
There's a reason why I don't go online and complain about any company, really.
Yeah.
Because once you become a voice actor and your career gets big enough where there's even a slight chance that company might hire you at some point, you can't bash them no matter how bad their service or product is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though you had a bad experience with such and such airlines, you might be the voice of such and such. What happens when that audition comes in? You're like, oh crap, and they recognize you from your officially verified Instagram or Twitter account where you bashed them on the internet, and you tag them or some other person is because that happened to me. Somebody else was asking me about something Star Trek, Star Wars related, and tagged William Shatner in it. And guess what William Shatner did? Oh, somebody teaches blah, blah, blah. Hey, red shirts unite. I'll get my nerd fans after you, Jon Bailey.
Okay, so let's flip that question around. What's actually something about the movies that you think is underappreciated?
I think there's a lot in the movies that people should enjoy because what people are spoiled. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to bash from the companies. People are spoiled. We're getting so much freaking content that you're drowning and choking on it, and yet you're still complaining. You're just like this. You're like me. You're a big fat guy with a chicken wing in his mouth going, oh, some more. Come on. Like and you got Star Wars every year. You got Marvel and DC every year. You get everything you could possibly want, and you still find ways to complain about it. I'm just happy to see Transformers in the theater. When I was a kid, I missed seeing the movie because I was little, and my parents said, no, you can't go to the theater to see movies. You're not old enough. So I had to wait until 2007 to see one, and it still was pretty freaking awesome. And the fact that they got Peter Cullen involved, they had some of my favorite characters in there. I thought it was freaking great, and it had a lot of my favorite stuff. That was very movieized, but it's still Transformers, and it helped kind of give a big fat injection of awesomeness into the shot of a franchise that otherwise was only doing kind of meh at the time.
Yeah, because
you see what happened to G.I. Joe when their movies didn't do quite so well. And I actually thought the second movie was pretty awesome too.
Yeah, actually,
if they could have, I'll say one more thing. If they could have ever got their ducks in a row, here's what would have happened. You would have seen Dwayne Johnson on Optimus Prime's shoulder as Roadblock and Optimus Prime together. That could have happened. So thank you, G.I. Joe fans, for bashing on the movie so bad, because that was what you screwed up. You could have had an awesome G.I. Joe movie, and you messed it up. So don't come it's your fault.
Yeah, I do think it's kind of time for some fans to kind of realize, okay, maybe we were the ones at fault with this.
It's like the complainers.
You're the reason for all these things that people. You're the reason that we're gonna have to reboot Star Wars again.
Oh
God. Anybody who complains about what they want, what they're expecting from movies, it's like if you're complaining, why don't you try making it yourself?
I know. It's like
see how hard it is.
What happened to fan fiction? You guys too bored and just too lazy to write your own stories anymore? You just gotta
no, they're too lazy to read.
Here's my thing. My thing is that you're being fed Burger King, but you're complaining because you'd rather have McDonald's. Potatoes. I mean, good grief. Find something. Here's what I go with an open mind. Close the fan brain off because you've built up this thing in your head so big that they can't possibly make it as good as you have it set up in your head. Your expectations are way too high. Shut your brain off. Go enjoy the film. We're not supposed to be in there to analyze it and critique it and blah blah blah. We all turned into movie reviewers at some point.
Yeah.
And we all decided we're basically the new Siskel and Ebert of the 2000s. It's up to us whether a movie is good or bad now. Just go to the movies to get away from life and to have fun for a few minutes and hang out and go on a date or whatever.
This guy's speaking my language, man.
Bro, who cares about that?
Yeah, I've been feeling that way for a long time. Evan?
Actually, we're going to be wrapping things up right now, unfortunately.
Well, let everyone get...
Yeah. Cool. Are you going to drop a beat?
Well, no. Well, Evan, before you.
Wrapping it up.
Yeah. Just
Well, Evan, how about you bring up a few more fan questions before we wrap?
Nothing really much came up, unfortunately.
How many fans? I warned y'all.
Yeah.
Well, but however, we actually did want to end with us requesting a line from you in your epic voice. Okay. In that case, I don't know about these guys, but mine is innocent.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure you could tell by the pony stuff behind me. What I was hoping to hear you say was, "Dear Princess Celestia, today I learned how to kick flank."
And what voice though?
Your epic voice.
Oh, dear Princess Celestia, today we learned how to kick flank. Hopefully that's not gonna tear him mad because we're friends. So.
Okay, Evan.
It would have sounded better as Optimus Prime's voice, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Even though they do have a My Little Pony Transformers crossover, and you guys don't think I know about this kind of stuff.
People are loving
I have
it.
the comic books right down there, dude.
People are loving it.
I got them out. I got them on digital before they ever came out.
Nice.
Ooh.
What
What
did you
feels
think?
like? I did my research. I went on IMDb before. Nobody likes that guy. Now you learn.
What's the crossover?
I thought it was fun. I got little girls and I have little boys too, so it's something a little fun. I thought it was great. I don't think it was so much for Transformers fans. I think it was more of a way to get My Little Pony fans interested in Transformers.
It probably helped.
I think it did. Because I mean, they're coming out with a lot of new kid-friendly Transformers stuff. Just keep an eye out.
Yeah, I actually did watch all of Rescue Bots and Rescue Bots Academy. I thought that was actually a very charming version of it because it wasn't.
I would have watched Rescue Bots Academy, but part of me was a little upset because they just changed things with the auditions and didn't have any of the original cast back and all the new characters. There were no auditions for it. They basically just started up a new studio, which I was like, oh man. I'm finally at the point where I'm getting the auditions for the kind of stuff I want, and then they move. They start, we're not casting the big voice actors anymore. We're just basically getting YouTubers now. Sorry.
That's good idea.
It was like the guy. It's like somebody's nephew or something was like the voice, or somebody's uncle. It's like some relative is like, "I'll do the voice for you." Oh, all right.
Okay, Evan. You're next.
Oh my god, I'm not even sure I can even get him to say this. I'm actually doing this as a request from a friend. He has a running joke with me where when he can't think of an answer to something, I'm like, so and so. I'm like, why not? And he says, because Stalin. And he wants to know if you can say that in the epic voice for me.
Just because Stalin?
Yeah.
Because Stalin.
Thank you very much. That's all I needed from you.
Bravo.
Yeah. You happy, Jablonski? You happy?
Okay.
Joe Stalin. Maybe you just go by Joseph.
Yeah.
Call him JoJo.
That sounds like a good idea.
All right. So for me, I would like the epic voice to say.
No Optimus Prime. No.
I mean,
all these voices, not one Ryan Reynolds request, not one Optimus Prime request.
I mean, if you want to do it like in whatever, maybe Ryan Reynolds' voice.
I don't know what might happen to you if you're not wearing your brown pants.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, in your Ryan Reynolds voice, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to Bright Idea for more. Wait for it, bright ideas.
Subscribe to Bright Idea for wait for it, more bright ideas.
Thank you.
Really
subscribe for more brown.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Damn it! Damn it! I thought I was gonna be the only one that was gonna suggest Ryan Reynolds. God damn. Because as soon as she said the epic voice, I was right here going to be like, I was over here going, yes. Nope. Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, I guess I'm still surprised that the epic voice is still that much requested, considering it's been 8 or 9 years since I started on that stuff, and I've done so much. Well, it's just like all this other stuff's more recent and more current. and yet people are still like, I like Dragon Ball Z because the same thing happens in every episode. Do it again, voice monkey.
Voice monkey.
I think it's like because like so few people can do that epic voice, so it's like just say this in your epic voice.
I thought that until I saw TikTok, and there's like 100 other people that are on there doing it. I'm like, well, I guess it's no big deal.
I guess they're not voice actors.
It's that voice, and
they're all just doing their bad impressions of me.
It's that voice, and if you could do a good Sam Elliott impression.
No, it's a good thing you actually asked me to do one, because nobody else has had the balls to say anything, but I'll do it for you. You didn't tell me but you didn't tell me what to say.
I was waiting for everybody. Okay, if you want to do Sam Elliott, because I think it would be more funnier for this. I was actually thinking of like a movie trailer idea.
Or it's gonna make me work, and I'm not getting paid.
Well, it's for a made-up movie.
Do my taxes.
It's for a made-up movie, so or unless someone actually wants to make it up.
Yeah.
Basically,
you want me to improvise a whole trailer?
No. I'm basically like wanting you to do like just the voiceover for like just the like how like basically the whole like in a world basically thing. Just that.
Yeah, just
like,
that whole trailer off the top of your head. No,
yeah.
Just that.
Well,
yeah,
well, it's not.
It's
Not.
You want me to improvise a trailer? No, I'm not saying improvise a trailer.
Well, you're just giving the title. You're just giving the title. I was trying.
That's called improvising.
Well, I already made up everything in my head for it.
I
was about to say.
What do you expect from me? I'm sorry.
Nothing, Professor.
Nothing,
Professor. Oh shit, I'm Gene. Awesome.
Okay.
I mean, I can do the inner world part, but I don't know what the rest of it would be.
No. Well, I was gonna say what I wanted you to say.
Oh, well,
okay. So just say
I want
it.
you to say the whole inner world thing.
No. I was gonna.
I'm not gonna remember all this though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, it's just a short.
2 minutes. It's gonna give me a 2-minute trailer. I'm supposed to remember everything.
No, it's just a short thing. Like you're just like it's just a few things to say. That's
all right. Well, spit it out. Let's see what I get.
Yeah.
All right, from the writers of Neighbors and the producers of In Time, they're bringing sexy back. Justin Timberlake and Seth Rogen.
Dude.
No.
You're giving him a paragraph.
3 hours later. I can't remember all of it.
Dude, you're giving him a paragraph to recite.
Right. Limited.
That's what my friend Kevin, like, to do those prank videos. Like they were like, we have this idea, we think it'd be funny. I'm like, this sounds stupid, and he's like, no, I promise it'll be great. And Kevin's like feeding me. He's like, say in a world where such as in like 3 minutes. I'm like, dude, I've got 15 seconds before they're gone. Like I can't get that much stuff out there that fast. There's no way I'm gonna remember that. Michael Bay did the same thing to me. He's like, okay, do this. And I'm like, geez, slow down, dude. I can only do so much information before I forget it.
Okay.
So Kuba, just give like a catchphrase.
How about this? Sam Elliott asking Ryan Reynolds if he wants to smoke a blunt.
All right. I don't know where the Christian part of this thing went out the window, but actually, there is a movie. I forget what the Hero. Have you seen the movie The Hero with Sam Elliott?
It sounds.
Nick Offerman plays his drug dealer.
Oh,
oh my god!
And he says he basically is just like my friend. He's like, say such and such in your voice, because Sam Elliott has that amazing voice.
Yeah.
He's like, say there's nothing better than purple haze. I'm like, please. It's just like that. I didn't know what a purple haze was.
Good enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that one.
Evan, do you actually? If you don't, because I actually have one last thing that I think he can end on for us.
Yeah, you could just do your last thing for us, and then we'll.
Okay. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to end with Nope. You're going to end it with Optimus Prime. We're going to go on Optimus Prime, and you're going to say, "This is not Optimus Prime. Thanks for tuning in to another nerdy talk show."
This is not Optimus Prime, except that it is, and you've tuned in to another nerdy show. I believe that is what you said.
Another nerdy talk show.
I warned you that I cannot remember that many words without.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
But you continue to think that I have this miraculous brain.
So now we're ants rather than ants.
Just because I do the voice. It's
official. We're ANS now.
But John, thank you so much for coming on. We've had a blast with you, and hopefully we'll get a chance. Our paths will cross one more time.
Thanks for asking our inane questions.
You hope so. I don't know. Me so much.
Thanks again, guys. And thank you all for tuning into ANS, and thank you guys for your questions.
It's ANS now, guys. Just ANS.
Yep.
And see you next time on the next.
Just like Justin Timberlake. Just drop the T. Just
Yeah.
All right, fading.
Oh boy.
Evan, do you have a...
Bye bye, last song. Bye. Thank you. Like you. I love you. See you next time. Bye. Miss you.